confio em ti e mais ninguém.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm very happy to be here with you this day, and I have so many things to talk. Oh my! But I would like to start by saying that thank you, Lord, for this opportunity, and thank you, Nicole. Where's Nicole for having me here. And I'm so happy because I was telling Andy that life is so surprising. 2 years ago, I was in Brazil, where I live, in São Paulo, and I was at church. And then a friend of mine told me that she had met a Canadian and on the internet, and they fell for each other, and they would marry, and she would move to Canada. And at that time, I couldn't imagine that 2 years later I would be here. I came to Canada to study some English, and she invited me to go and to talk in their church in London Lake. And I was there last weekend. And it happens that Miriam's brother-in-law has a cousin here in White Rock. And do you know who is she? She has an awesome voice. That is Laurie. And that's why I'm here. And I am even happier because I'm not here alone. As I said before, I came to Canada to study my university and not so good English. And at school, I met Priska, who is from Switzerland. And Priska, just stand up just a little bit, just for them to know who are you, and then the Zuri. Thank you. And I was telling Priska that I would come here today, and she asked me if she could come. So today, to be here was totally unexpected to me, and I am very, very happy for this opportunity. I'm here to share my story, and although I'm very young, you have to take on this point. I am still young, very young. I have many things to tell you, and I won't have time to do it just in the morning. So after lunch, I would like to invite everybody to come back here. Actually, we're going to have lunch in here, so stay here for the second part. I have some videos, I have some things that I would like you very much to see them. And if we could have the slides, please. I would like to show some pictures and everything. Why I'm here today? I'm here to share about my story. But why my story is important? Actually, my story is not important at all. But I'm here to remind you that life can be different. How different? Life can be better. That's why I'm here. And sometimes we forget that life can be better. I would like to, the next slide, please. Who do you relate yourself with? And I'm not talking about weight, okay? But do you relate yourself with? Every time I ask this question, usually everybody relate themselves with the small guy here. And that's something that it's interesting, because maybe you are the small guy trying to be happy, trying to do all things right, and you're not making. But I'm here today to tell you that God can make us strong as the big guy here. Healthier and nicer than him. But God can make us strong to face whatever happens to us. Next slide, please. You see me in a wheelchair, but I wasn't born with any physical impairment. I was a very privileged girl. I was born in Brazil without any physical impairment. I have a loving family, and of course there isn't such a thing as a perfect family. But I thank God for my family. They love me very much. I have 2 younger brothers, and I had a very good life in Brazil back then. I had access to education, to sports, to faith since little age. And next slide, please. Just for you to know how was my life some years ago. Well, as I told you, I had access to faith since little age. And in church was very important for me when I was a little kid. Because in church, I've learned three important truths. The first truth that I understood since I was little: we are not alone. We have someone bigger, wiser, and way better than us on your side. And we are not supposed to fight our fights by ourselves. We have a great helper. So since little age, I believe that God was with me and God is with you. Doesn't matter if we feel like this or not. The second important truth I learned from a little age is that there isn't such a thing as everlasting suffering. So you can smile. Let me see your teeth, because you know what? I don't know what you've been through lately. Usually when people ask you, how are you doing? We always say, I'm good, I'm great. If you are Canadian, you're going to say, I'm awesome. But deep inside, sometimes we are broken. We are broken. I don't know what you've been through. What I know is that doesn't matter what it is, it's temporary. You can smile. And the third truth that I've learned in church is that if anyone wants to be happy forever, it's possible. And it made all the difference in my life. In church, I made my best friends. And I had a very happy adolescence in church with my friends and so on. When I turned 18 years old, I was about to accomplish a dream. I've always loved the English language. And when I turned 18, my family decided that I would have gone to England to stay there for 1 year. So at that time, if you look at me, you could have, I misuse verb tenses, you notice that. Sorry for that. But if you look at me, you would think, she has everything, except a boyfriend. At that time, I didn't have a boyfriend. But even this was providential, because I would have gone to England. And it's very hard to be apart from the one you love, you go. So, the fact that I didn't have a boyfriend at that time was a good thing also. So I was healthy, I had a lovely family, friends, faith, education, sports. I used to work at that time. I had a dream almost coming true. If you look at me, this girl, she had everything to be happy, but I wasn't. Is that possible? Is it possible for you to have everything you need in order to be happy and not to be? It's possible. It's possible. And it happens very often. I'm not saying that you have everything you want, because nobody in this world has everything you want. But perhaps we have everything you need to be happy, and we are not. Something is missing. And when I was 18, although I believed in God and I used to go to church, I didn't have a close relationship with God. God was only someone who I believed in. But you know, if you have a cell phone, and if you use your cell phone every day, you have to charge, right? How often? Every day. If you don't charge your phone every day, the battery will run out. So, I used to go to church, but during the week, I had no close relationship with God. Therefore, I was unplugged. And my life turned gray. I used to work in my life at that age was like this. I used to work in the mornings, then I got back home, had lunch, I used to sleep all afternoon until dinner time. I used to get up to eat something, and then I used to go to the television. And I would stay all night until 4 a.m. watching TV. And then I would go to my bedroom. Do you think that when I used to get to my bedroom, I was very happy? Whoa, what an awesome day I had. No, it wasn't like that. I knew that my life could be better, but I couldn't manage how to make it different. And instead of asking God, God, you gave me everything I need to be happy, but I'm not happy. Help me to have a real life. I didn't do that. I just complained with him. I said to him, you know what? My heart is becoming hard, and you do nothing about it. I don't do anything about it. And I kept living like this. But one day a friend of mine invited me to a youth meeting that would happen in the countryside. And I decided to go because the city was very nice on the top of a mountain. It's our little Switzerland, Prisca, that we have over there. So it's a very charming city, and I decided to go to that youth meeting from church. What I didn't know was that day would be the most unexpected of all, because when we were coming back to our city, the bus that we were in lost the brake. And as I said before, the city it's located on the top of a mountain. So as the bus, the brakes stopped working, we started going down faster and faster and faster. At a time, a car was coming to the city, and we were on the wrong lane. And in order not to hit that car, the driver decided to roll over our bus. But we were too fast. And when we rolled over, we were about to fall off the cliff. And if that bus had fallen off the cliff, there would be no Fernanda today. Nobody would have survived. But pay attention to this. It was a curve.